I haven't had this thing out on the water, so I don't know if it leaks or not. Dude I bought it from said it doesn't leak a drop. But it is an older boat, and I plan on having it for a long time or selling it. And whoever I sell it to, I'd like to have the confidence to tell them that it's not going to leak. But I will put it in the water before I sell it. But anyways, I went ahead and picked up some of this Glue It. It's like an epoxy sealer. What I'm going to do is just go over all the rivets all around the boat and the welds up front and the welds on the back. Just, you know, just to be safe. This stuff is like 25 bucks, something like that on Amazon. So better be safe than sorry. And you can paint right on top of it. So that's what I'm gonna do now. This is a 2-part epoxy. Gotta mix this stuff in here and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. All right, I got all the rivets and a few bolts here and there and all the welds in the front and the back of the boat, and it only took about half of it. I kind of hate it. I didn't have some more stuff to try to seal up, but we'll see. Hopefully it didn't need it, but always better to be safe than sorry. And I think this stuff has to set up for a day or two, so that works out perfect because tomorrow, if all goes according to plan, I am going fishing. I'm waiting on paint too. Paint's supposed to come in either today or tomorrow. So hopefully by the time this stuff cures up, I can go ahead and wipe over everything with acetone one more time. Go ahead and put the coat of paint on the bottom of the boat. And then I'll be ready to go ahead and install the floor. But I'd like to go ahead and paint the rest of the boat too before I do that. I'd like to have it on a trailer because it's going to be heavy as crap by the time I get all this flooring in here. But, alright, cool deal. Alright, so I got the inside pretty much ready to be painted. The epoxy's dried, I think. Yeah, it's dried. And all I really got to do is wipe it with some acetone again and then paint it. Paint came in yesterday. But I'd really rather sand and paint the bottom side of it first. My only problem is I need to flip the boat upside down, and I don't know if I'll be able to do it by myself. What I'm gonna try to do is get it off the sawhorses, flip it upside down, and then walk it, you know, get the back end on the sawhorse and then the front end. A 14-foot boat's heavy. I did it somehow. Alright. Garage door going shut. Alright, let's get to sanding. Alright, I got the boat all wiped down with acetone, and I'm going to attempt to paint it. It's not really the best conditions to paint. I should wait for a warmer day. It's like 32 degrees right now, but it's super sunny and it's warm in my garage. I'm sure it ain't 50 degrees, but it feels pretty comfortable, and I got the patience of a 8-year-old on a 10-hour road trip, so I want to go ahead and get it done. What I got is this Aluma Hawk. You can read it real good. I should have done that before I poured some in my little paint tray. But it's actually 4 boats. It's Jon Boat green. We'll give it a shot. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll it on with this little foam roller. I don't know, I might just do the bottom part. It depends on how it goes. I might go ahead and do the sides too if it looks like it's going pretty smooth. So here we go. Alright, this is after one coat. You can definitely see a lot of the lines where I stopped and started and like rolled on top of itself. Stuff dried really fast, a lot faster than I thought it would. So, I mean, this is the bottom of the boat, so I'm not overly worried about it, but I do want the sides to turn out pretty good, which they did. You can see some, but I want to try to keep it wet as I can on this second coat, because I think this is going to be my last coat. I think it'll look okay. But keep it wet all the way down, just like do from here to here, this ridge. Do it all the way down on this side, keep it wet, and then drop down and do the second one. But it looks all right. I think it's going to look good after the second coat. I said this is basically just a scuff and shoot anyways. And I didn't get it all the way down to bare aluminum because it's going to be camouflage. I got camouflage stencils and it's going to be camouflage from here to here. And it should hide most of these scratches and imperfections. I think it'll look pretty good. All right, let's get to work. Alright, second coat is on. It looks a lot more even now. I don't see any stop and stop marks, but it still has to dry. But I think it looks pretty good. I think it's going to turn out a lot better this time. This time I did just between like these two channels. Like I do this whole strip all the way down, then I start on the next strip. That way I could keep it wet. And yesterday I did like this part of the boat and this part of the boat. Then I jumped over there and did that part. So I think that's why I had so many roller marks in it compared to today. But now we just gotta let it dry. Like I said, this stuff dries fast. If it dries fast enough, I might be able to start laying down the camo today. But I wanna make sure it's dry because the way I think I'm gonna do these camo stencils is a little bit different than a lot of people do, than the way they suggest. They say you just throw it on there and just spray it, but I don't want it to look like 100% like a backyard job. I want it to look better. I'm gonna tape it up there and try to get it as flat as possible and then spray it and then let it dry and maybe spray it again and then move the stencil over. All right, that's done. All right, I think I can finally wrap up this prep and paint video. Hallelujah. I'm so tired of jacking with this boat as far as paint and sanding and acetone is concerned. That was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. Painting the inside of the boat was the worst part. All those ribs and stuff, you can only roll so much, and it's hard to get to everything with a paintbrush. So I got a lot of holidays left. Holidays is when you paint and it looks like it's covered when it dries, so you can still see the bottom paint. That's called a holiday. But I got a lot of those, and since it's the bottom of the boat and you're not really going to be able to see any of it other than the very back, and that's, you know, it's going to have a gas tank and possibly a battery or whatever back there, I'm not too concerned about it. I'm going to let this coat dry, and I'm going to hit probably the back and maybe the sides, because I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna cover them or not. The sides in the middle section where the floor is going. I think I've decided I'm going to wall up one side just to have a place to put my switch panel and fuse block and all that. But I want that to look good just in case I don't. But the rest of it, I think, is pretty much done. Man, it's been something else. I got about maybe a quarter of that gallon left, if that. So if you was to do a whole nother coat on the bottom of this boat, a 1436 boat, you're going to take it a whole gallon at least, because that'd be 2 coats on the bottom and 2 coats on the inside. But I'm glad I'm done. I'll wrap this video up. I did camouflage on it, and I'm gonna make it a whole separate video because I think there might be some people that don't give a crap about me building this boat but might be interested in using the same camouflage stencil I use. So I don't want them to have to watch me paint this whole daggone boat. But anyhow, it's coming along. I'm excited to move to the next step, which will be putting this boat on the trailer. I didn't do much to the trailer. I might do a quick overview on the next video on the things I did to it, but it's not worth doing a whole video on. I'll see you guys on the next one.